What's going on, guys? Welcome to No Sugar Added with your host, Dan. And today we are joined with a couple of other buddies.
Hi, how's it going? This is Clauda.
How you guys doing? This is jFabs.
All right, we are a brand new podcast, and we're going to be mostly based around relationships in a way, dating, the love stuff.
Feels, basically.
The feels talk.
Being real.
Most definitely.
So, our first episode is going to be based about speed dating. Is speed dating fun? Is it popular? But what is speed dating? You guys excited for this?
Hell yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to be something I think a lot of people are going to want to hear us up on.
So, before we actually jump into speed dating, I thought it would be a great idea for us to let you guys know a little bit about us. So I'm going to start here. So I'm Dan. I'm 27 years old, and I work with computers as an IT. I am single right now, and I'm ready to mingle. And how about you, Jean-Claude?
How's it going, guys? I'm Jean-Claude. Recently turned 28. I'm an audiovisual technician. That's a weird job, but yeah, it's cool though. And I'm taken. And what about you, jFabs?
Hey, how you guys doing out there? So I'm 28. Just turned 28 in March, and single. I guess like everyone else, just trying to find someone, and share all those common interests with. Throw it back to you, Dan.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump into speed dating and get right into the first topic here. What is speed dating? Do you guys know what speed dating is? Before I break it down.
I have a good idea what it is from what I've been reading and from what we've all seen in movies at least, but I've never done one, so I don't know if it's completely what we've seen in movies or from what I've read. It could be completely different for all I know.
Yeah, same here. I haven't had a personal experience with it, but, same like Jean-Claude, stuff you see on movies, stuff you read on a Snapchat, Cosmopolitan, for all you know. There's so many different things you hear out there.
All right, so there's quite a few different kinds of speed dating, but for now we're going to stick to the normal traditional speed dating. So basically, each lady will set out a table number, and the guys will rotate between the numbers, and they'll usually have 3 to 5 minutes to talk to your date, and to get to know them as much as possible. And by the end of it, you will have your little notebook right there. You'll already mark their name if you want to meet them, if you don't want to meet them. And from there, the results usually take about 24 hours to get, and they're emailed to you. Most places do that. Other places might not. But from the ones I read about, that's what they do. So it's even better because you're not allowed to do any numbers exchange. You're not allowed to do any emails exchange. So everything is done there. It makes it a lot less pressure with no names, no numbers, no emails, and that. You guys good on that one?
Yeah.
What is speed dating, right? That's what you're shooting off, right? Like, what is speed dating, right? Everyone, I guess, kind of like we spoke about. I guess it's just, you're single. You're kind of like, you're looking for someone to be socially interacting with, so... and you're hopefully something matches. If something matches, it does, and if it doesn't, you kind of just pick up where you're at right there, and take it from there.
So the traditional speed dating is not the only kind of speed dating there is. There's other kind of events for speed dating. There's one that I was reading about, a lock and key event, which is a similar speed dating. Yes, Jean-Claude?
No, do tell, please. I'm curious. I didn't read about this one.
So lock and key speed dating is... a woman gets a lock, and a man gets a key. And there is no numbers involved here. The man has to go and find out where his key fits.
Really?
Yeah. And
man, that actually sounds pretty fun.
Your key only fits to 3 to 4 locks.
So, hold on. If that's the case, it's given out random?
It's given out random.
Okay. Never mind. I thought the people who were hosting the event would know where the keys are going, where the locks are going, because then it feels like someone's kind of picking your partners or your potential partners for you. Yeah.
Sounds like someone's playing God over there.
Yeah. So you get 3 to 3 matches, and the only downside about this, from what I was reading, every key that you do match with a lock, you get a raffle and you get a prize, which means people are trying just to do raffles.
So basically, there's an incentive not just to find your partner, but the fact that you're going to get some free stuff out of it.
Yeah, but and I feel that putting that kind of thing on it is going to make people just want to skip the talk and find out, get those raffles in.
No, I totally agree. That doesn't even sound fun. It just sounds like, okay, I'm going to speed dating. I'm going to try to see where my key goes. And once I find out, I know I'm going to get some free stuff. The incentive is to just find out where the key is. I mean, where the key goes to.
Yeah, 100%.
It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like they're actually going there to do the mingling, to find out who's who. Because then the problem is, what if, let's say I'm the girl, and then I get 2 or 3 people who found their key to my lock. I don't like any of them. It was kind of a wasted day.
And no money. So that pretty much covers the lock and key events. But if lock and key event or traditional speed dating is not really your type of thing, there's always themed speed dating events that you go to. There's like geek speed dating events, gaming speed dating events. There's
speed dating events for certain types of people. Like nowadays, speed dating events for graduate students. It's a very big thing. Graduate students, they are always kept in school because they have to study. They need to get that master's degree or they need to get that PhD, whatever it is. But they're so focused on studying, they have no time for their own personal romantic life. So there is speed dating that gravitates towards graduate students.
Every theme you could think of, there's a speed dating for it. I've seen a lot of different themes out there for speed dating.
There's speed dating for people who are looking for people for a certain height, people who are looking for certain ethnicities, certain religions, certain sexual orientations.
Exactly. Same as Jean-Claude over here was putting forward. There's so many different types of... If you just Google it online, you'll see there's so many sites out there that have different targets. On different weekends, you'll find different things that you're looking towards. That sometimes you just have to catch it on the right week, and that's the week you got to go. So most definitely.
So as we end, what is speed dating? We're gonna jump into another topic, but before we do, I just want to point out that we do plan on going speed dating, and we're gonna try this out as a group.
Yes.
And then we're going to get back to you guys on how that went. But more details will come at the end of the podcast. So let's jump into...
I just want to point out that the episode where we come back with speed dating, that's going to be a really funny episode. I'm just saying. Point it out.
It's going to be memories. And it's going to be a story.
It's going to be a first experience, I'm sure, with some first experience stories, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely bring that to the table when that time comes. Let's jump into, how did this idea come about?
Oh, please, can I tell this story?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we're not going to name any names, but we've been friends for a very long time. We all share this one mutual friend, and he doesn't have the best luck with dating. It's a bad rut. So we figured, hey, why not go speed dating? If you're having such a hard time dating in the normal world out there, like some people do, people, they don't have the good luck of being able to just find someone to date. They have to either go online for online dating or they find other methods of dating. So we suggested speed dating. And that's how the idea came about. We just figured, hey, you know what? If we all go as a group, we'll be able to encourage him to go out of his bounds, or more out of his boundaries, and, test the waters, see what we can find out there.
So, yeah, I think that is a great thing for him to do, is walk into test those waters and see how it is. I think he'll do pretty good in that kind of environment. I mean... As much as I know our buddy, he had some problems talking to girls, but I think that he will do just fine here.
Listen, I think speed dating is probably like one of the trickiest. At least, like I said, I have no personal experience, but from what I've seen in movies, what I've seen in shows, the material I've read on it, I feel like speed dating is the best way to test the waters on how fast you can answer, what you come up with, if you can be creative, because you only have 3 to 8 minutes on average to make a good first impression and hope
100%,
that your first impression is enough to get a contact number at the end of it.
Remember, speed dating doesn't involve phone numbers at the end.
Well, no. At the end, they match you. From what I've read,
well,
did you like this person? Did that person like you? It's
but you give the note in, and then they match you after 24 hours.
That's what I mean. Yeah, as long as both sides said, "Hey, we're into each other," information is then shared.
But I think he will do fine. But I mean, beforehand, of course, we're gonna have to sit him down. We're gonna have to talk about questions. I think that's probably gonna be where we need to help him at the most.
I think he's gonna need some coaching from top to bottom. On, physical. There's a physical appearance. There's a whole persona you display out there that you try to put it out there, and it's like a fish, or like a fisher. You want him to go and grab that fish. So we got to see if he's a fish that you're gonna want to keep after the show. So we'll find out.
That is a very.
I'll just say one thing. I've known jFabs for years, and he uses the weirdest metaphors. Oh my God, a fish? Oh, Jesus.
There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Well, that is one truth right there.
When we get the story with him, our buddy, our experience, we might have him come on the show and talk about his experience. We'll see.
I hope.
But that is.
I just want to say that I believe that he'll find it at speed dating. I believe in love. I hope he finds it.
100%, I do too. I hope so.
We'll find out, So it's going to be one heck of an experience when he comes along with us, and just seeing him out there. It's going to be like a kid riding his bicycle.
Walking around in a candy store.
I'll accept that metaphor. I'll accept it. It's better than a fish.
All right, so we got John Claude's version of how did this idea come about. I'll jump in there briefly, real quick. A real quick one. When I first heard speed dating, I was like, that's outrageous. Speed dating? What the hell? I don't need no help. Yeah. But speed dating is a lot more than just needing help. It's an actual experience. And I never speed dated. I want to, and we will. But I do have two friends who done it. Oh yeah. Well, one a guy, one a girl. So no. But. Being able to hear their experiences as a woman and as a man, their different sides of how their conversations went with these other dates that they had, is very good. They said it's probably one of the best experiences they had, and it creates a story for them. They got to meet a lot of interesting people, so it kind of made me want to jump in there and try that out.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
Did either of them get matches?
They did get matches. They did. So when they told me they had two matches. Well, she had 3 matches. He had 2 matches, and so basically they were sent emails, as I explained from before, and they, those random guys emailed her, "Hey, you want to go on this date?"
So wait, from what when a match has been made, the contact information given out is an email address, not a phone number?
From what I understand, it's email address. I didn't get too much information. I do know you get your results, the person's name and their information, in email. So I'm not sure I didn't ask her if you get a phone number in there. Didn't ask too much direct information about.
I guess a phone number is too direct, especially for a person you only talk to for anywhere from 3 to 8 minutes. So I guess an email is okay. But I just feel an email asking on a date, or just an email where someone has to reintroduce themselves, like, "Hey, remember me? Went on a date." To me, just feels not archaic. It just feels old, and it feels like, what, are we back in 98?
Yeah.
You got mail. I can't wait.
Yeah,
John just sent me an email from speed dating.
I think emails are less stalkerish.
Just the point I was about to jump into right there. I think it's probably an emails first before a phone number, and the only reason I say that is because you don't know the type of person you're interacting with. You're only seeing that person for 3 to 5 minute time span, and you're telling me you already know that you can exchange a number with an individual already. I think you kind of need to know a little bit more about them before you can start giving out that phone number, because I don't think too many of us want to change our phone numbers after we've known someone's hitting us up 1,000 times a night.
That's why they have the block feature.
Yo, thank God for the block feature, because honestly, I've had my phone number for almost 10 years.
Yeah, me too. A long time.
Block feature.
Yeah. Especially those spam phone calls. Block. jFabs. Do you have anything to add to this?
Bro, it's jFabs. Get it right.
All right.
Get it tight.
jFabs.
Thank you, Daniel. So yeah, I mean, why are we doing it? You know, to me, at least for me personally, why am I doing speed dating? I think it's a little different from maybe today's social norm. By that I mean there's so many dating apps. You know, there's so many things out there. You name it. And people are still continuously creating websites. They're creating applications where you can easily, at the swipe of a finger, you know, you got a match. You don't have a match, and it's. I feel like speed dating is a more personal aspect, and I feel like you can really, or you can almost. I think you can get a better understanding of somebody when they're put in front of you, rather than being put in your hand on your little touchscreen phone right there. So I think you can get a better feel for an individual, you know. So I think that's a good thing.
You know, you bring up a good point, because like you said, you get to know someone you get to know someone a lot better because you're right there in front of their face. You have, the other person has 3 to 8 minutes to talk, to give off that first impression. Unlike going on Tinder or whatever, a guy can hold off talking to you for like an hour and think of an answer to your question. But on speed dating, he doesn't have that time. He has literally seconds, because if he even waits longer than 10 seconds to answer a question, you're obviously going to be thrown off. And I mean, that's also for women, you know, guys, not just you, but I mean for women as well.
No, 100%. I think too, it's when you get in front of someone, you know, they also say like, you also give off energy. You know, and I think you can also read someone else's energy when you're in front of them, you know, or even if you share the same room with them. And I think when you have that same person in front of you, you know, I mean, call me corny, but I believe sometimes when you look into someone's eyes, you know, you can kind of see what's going on in someone else. So I think just having someone in front of you, you can read their energy. You can see like, what are they? I mean, obviously there's times we're nervous. You know, we're all nervous when we're in front of somebody doing a presentation of some sort. So I mean, I know there's you know, first time jitters, you know, when it comes to speaking to someone you don't know. But I also think too, there's a genuine side of you that you do show that you can't show when you have a phone in front of you. So I think, so for me, like I said, the speed dating whole thing, it's me getting a personal experience rather than putting it through my phone. That type of experience where, you know, you don't really know what's going on when someone puts that phone in your hand and you're just swiping left, right, you know. But at least that's for me, Dan. You know, that's what I got to say on it.
No, I agree. I agree with what you said. It's definitely a different approach to everything. But if that's all we have for this topic, we can jump straight into it.
I just want to point out the reason why we're all doing it, because we have other friends that are going to join us, but our main concern is not just for ourselves. It's not for ourselves. It's really to help our friend, because honestly, he needs the help. I'm not making it sound in a bad way. He just needs the help,
which a lot of people do these days.
Yeah, unfortunately, the dating world out there is it's a little tough.
It can be rough, definitely, especially people with full-time jobs at a long time.
No, well, not just that. Like, there aren't lines drawn in the sand like there were back in the past. In the past, you're like, okay, you and me are boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, no. Now it's, hey, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking like to 3 other people as well. So you're not my main concern. You know, it's very hazy, I guess you can say.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I definitely could agree on that.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, you know, it's once we have our buddy in there, and you know, obviously he has us as his support group, and I think we're gonna really see him learning with the experience of everything, and how everything goes about. You know, it's something that I feel like, you know, our buddy is also you in some sense. You know, he's you, he's us. We're all a little shy. We're all a little in our little shell. And we kind of like not sure if we want to go all the way, go halfway. We want someone to meet us, but I think the speed dating that we do is going to be it's going to be a great experience for him and for all of us and all our listeners as well.
I'm really excited to try this for myself as well. I mean, who knows, man? Maybe I'll find
you trying to find love, Dan?
Yeah, well, the next rock, you know. It's
no.
inside joke. Inside joke.
The next rock. Oh man, that's another story for another podcast.
So, only if you tell yours. So we're gonna have jFabs kick off this next topic here. The misconceptions. The misconceptions of speed dating.
All right, most definitely. I mean, some misconceptions I would say about speed dating. You know, I think a lot of people think like it's almost like a last resort. Some people would think, you know, like you've tried everything, and a lot of people are like, oh, these are desperate individuals. But to be honest with you, I don't know why it's almost at times not people's first dating application that they try. And I say that only because of some of the stuff that I spoke previously about, you know, just getting that, understanding someone's energy across from you, and then just trying to see, are like my vibrations, are they vibrating off this same individual in front of me? You know, like, are we meeting, are we giving and taking, like the conversation? How is it going? How is it developing? You know, I think those are some of the pros on speed dating, but I think the misconception is, you know, that I think a lot of people might think that it's for maybe desperate or for individuals who are maybe have given up. But you know, I mean, at least that's some of my
I mean, in some cases you'll see the guys saying, you know, I'm not good looking enough to get a girl, so they don't do this type of thing, and then they're kind of too nervous too because they don't feel confident on how they look.
I don't know. I think the misconception of speed dating is that it falls outside the social norms. When I say the social norms, I believe back before there was email, most people would get introduced to friends of other friends, or they would meet someone on accident and then exchange numbers and then go out on dates, person to person. And then the age of the internet came up, and then it was emails. There would be chat rooms. And then the advancement of technology obviously came to dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, Plenty of Fish. And so now it went from a person-to-person thing, which was the norm. Oh, I love that song.
My jam right here.
Yeah, it went from a person-to-person thing, which back then was a social norm. And just back then, just saying like, hey, you met someone over the email? You never met them? That's kind of weird. That was back then. But nowadays, saying, hey, yeah, I met this person on Tinder, that's completely normal. It is no longer outside the social norm. But when someone says like, yeah, I met this person on speed dating, most people kind of like just look at you and like, what? That's so weird.
Well, would you say speed dating is in kind of the same ballpark as like eHarmony or Match dating? Like, I mean, those are outside. I wouldn't consider Tinder or Plenty of Fish the same area as Match or eHarmony, because those are like fish. Like, I don't know. A lot of people always say, "Oh, look, I'm looking for a nice piece of ass for a night. Let me get on POF or Tinder."
Yeah. I mean, the goals are different. Like, obviously for Tinder and Bumble, I feel it's just like, okay, you know what? I need to get some ass. Let me go on these applications or apps and see what I can find. But I feel like Plenty of Fish is a little different. So is Soul Swipe. They're trying to find some kind of...
You know, I know a success story from POF. My cousin actually got married.
Through POF?
She met someone on POF.
God damn, look at that. Shit.
And I had a cousin who met someone on Match, and now they're married. So there's definitely success stories in these type of things.
Most definitely. I even believe my sister and her, now my brother-in-law met there, and I'll say something about their relationship, husband and wife. Now it's phenomenal. Like, honestly, I'm like, holy crap! Like, they really found something. And honestly, even like online dating. I mean, I think there's a lot of like, there are some misconceptions on the online dating thing too. But I think it's like almost like, call it like dating on steroids. It's like you're honestly like getting to pick certain categories of interest and matching them up with mine and yours without having to even meet with one another, without having to go through the trial and error of things. I feel like the online dating has really...
it's harder.
It's harder, but I think it's also allowed almost like a shortcut, or at least a leap forward in some instances, in some sense, you know?
Yeah, because when you go into those kind of website dating, first of all, the girl's going to look at your profile. Basically, you're saying that profile is going to be a big thing. But most girls don't message you first. They expect the message first.
That's exactly
and
true.
The hardest part is what you're going to say in that message is what's going to determine everything.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, back to my misconception. The misconception is nowadays most people. I don't have a number. I'm not a scientist. I don't do the math. I can just give you a guesstimate from the people that I know, the friends that I have. Most people tend to find the person they're hooking up with or banging out with or actually dating. They found it on some kind of online app. So I feel like now that's the social norm. The social norm is now to meet someone online, not face to face. So when someone says, "Hey, I met someone," face to face on speed dating, to them that's a little weird. Just back like in the 90s where someone's saying like, "Yeah, I met someone on email," that would have been weird to them back then. But nowadays it almost sounds a little weird, like, "You met someone face to face? Really? And you hit it off?" That's so strange. To me, that's a misconception nowadays.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I agree with both of your topics there, both your statements. 100%. I think we pretty much covered the misconceptions of speed dating, and I feel comfortable that we are ready to go on to the next step, which is a very important step, by the way. And this is when everything is done, booked, and ready to go. The day is here. Speed dating is in 2 hours from now.
Prepping for the day.
And let me tell you, man, prepping for the day is probably one of the hardest things besides what we're going to talk about after this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start this one off if that's okay with you boys.
Yeah, by all means, jump on in.
All right, so a couple of things here. You have to look your best. Now, when I say look your best, I'm not talking about a suit. I'm not talking about a suit jacket. I'm not talking about a tux. I'm talking a nice pair of jeans, button up. If you want, dress pants, dress shirt, tie, it's perfectly okay. But if you walk inside us with a suit, overboard. Suit, you're not going to Atlanta, my dude. All right? It's dress casual, dress nice, ladies. Nice sundress. Boom! Done. You want everyone in that room already. Now, of course, you don't want to go wrinkly. Make sure you're not wrinkled, no fur, smelling good.
You better grab your mom's iron
Yeah.
out the closet real quick.
Yeah, for real.
I just love how you included not wrinkly. Like that's your first answer.
Let me tell you. You know what? A girl's gonna see a wrinkly shirt. What are they gonna think?
They're automatically assuming like, no, not this guy.
Oh, this guy doesn't know how to iron. What the hell? You know?
I don't want him if he doesn't know how to iron his clothing.
So one other thing is very important is be open-minded about the event. You know, don't just walk in there. You know, of course you're going to be nervous. A lot of people are nervous, so it's something to be ashamed of. So don't be nervous. You're going to walk in there. You're gonna feel maybe insecure, anything like that. You gotta push through that because get through the first 5 minutes. I think everything will be good. Everything will take its natural place from there. And the other thing is be prepped. Have those questions ready. You don't go in there with no questions. If you don't go in there with questions, you're absolutely done.
100%. I even think to bounce real quick off that. I think if I've done speed dating, or if I'm a girl who's just getting visited so often by every different individual guy, I would feel like every guy would ask like, "What's your occupation? What's your so and so?" Average
100%,
question. I feel like you want to leave a mark. It's almost like an interview in some sense.
Yeah.
You want to stand out. So don't ask your regular black and white question. Get in there and ask something different.
I 100% agree with that. We're definitely going to get into the questions a little later into this podcast on what questions to ask.
We're still talking about prep, right?
We're talking about prep.
Okay, I'll give you my prep. This is Jean-Claude's prep. Very simple prep. Is your beard looking okay?
Nice and shaped.
Nice and shaped, or just nice and trimmed?
Not like mine right now.
Not looking like a beast of a beast. Does your hair look okay? I take a lot of love into my hair.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna lie, me without hair, that's not good.
I've seen it. Nice buzz down.
Yeah, no one likes to see that. Like, no, back in the military, yes, but no one likes to see that.
Let me tell you, the girls love the bald,
well, yeah, some do, but... Oh, God. I'm in so much trouble today.
Just keep going. Let's hear that prep.
So, the prep mainly is... I'm a simple guy. You know what? I'll wear a black jeans. Those are my favorite kind of jeans nowadays.
Always,
yes. Remember when I just used to wear blue jeans? And
hey,
I never wanted to try black jeans?
I remember I bought my first pair of black jeans in Italy a couple weeks ago.
I think you mean Netherlands.
Netherlands. Sorry, Netherlands.
But they were by Armenian Italians.
By Army Italians in Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
Sorry, we're playing our Italy trip. I just got myself in.
Yeah, but like I said,
European jeans.
yeah, we call it some chukkas, some black jeans, and I'm a lover of flannel or more plaid. You know, a button up like that, rolls up the sleeves, have a nice beard, my hair is flowing the right way, not the wrong way, and have a mental game like, hey, I'm here for something, they're here for something, we're here for the same thing, hopefully. So, you know, no one's in the wrong. We're all starting at the step one.
100%. jFabs.
100%. I think we all have our little different styles here. Facial hairs, hair combs, all. I think...
I just want to cut in real quick. jFabs is probably going to say something about having some kind of... what's it called? Blazer. Just want to
yes, the blazers.
Well, let me get first on those picnic shirts that are
picnic shirts
that are so famous to Jean-Claude.
Yo, are we throwing shit on this podcast? I love it. Let's go.
Well, as far as I remember, you threw a slight shade, but I think I might have hit you too.
Don't worry, I get a call the farmer with the shirt on. So.
Well, like I said, I mean, I prefer maybe well, I don't know specifically, but maybe a V-neck, a slight V-neck, maybe with a blazer on top. I'm calling me weird. I don't know what you want to call me. Maybe a Henley, a nice Henley.
No, man, your signature is a V-neck with a blazer, my dude, with blue jeans.
Yeah, I prefer black jeans, preferably. But hey, a nice watch on my left hand. I feel like I don't think I could go wrong.
Oh, that's great, you know. But definitely, I think when I go speed dating, I might go in with black jeans button up with a proper haircut because my hair is everywhere right now.
Honestly, I love my hair. But my hair makes me look 100 times better than I do.
Brawny.
If I'm bald, it's terrible. But yeah, I totally agree, man. Well, the hair is the most important thing. Unless she likes bald guys, then you're a little fucked. Sorry.
If I can say one thing, I know you guys maybe can't see us on this first episode, but Jean-Claude is brawny. Brawny paper towel man is your guy Jean-Claude.
Especially if he throws on that flannel, it's over.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
That is definitely great. With your look and prep and being open-minded. Like, what would you guys do to prepare for being open-minded?
The mentality. The
mentality
that I'd walk into it. Like
how would you deal with being nervous?
Well, first of all, when I get nervous, I sweat a lot. But that's not the point. The point is, for mentality, I think I go in the mentality with like, okay, you got this. This is nothing but a thing. You're here for one reason. They're here for another reason. You know why they're here. And they know why you're here. You're all for the same reason, so you both know why you're here. But I think, honestly, for the first 2 to 3 speed dates, I'd probably mess up real hard. But I think it's like when you go out for a nice long run, it takes you like either, for some people it takes you like the first half mile, some people it takes you a whole mile to find your pace. And I think that's, for me mentally, it'd take the first 2 to 3 dates to find my pace. Okay, this is what I'm going to talk about. This is not what to ask. This is not what to talk about. This is how I'm going to keep casual. This is how I'm going to keep this type of persona, so forth and so on.
Yeah, it's great. Definitely. It's a tricky one. jFabs.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll take an opposite approach. I think on that. I think I don't want to think too much on it. I think I'd go in and maybe have one drink before walking in. I think I'd rather be a little calm, relaxed, and try and be as smooth as I could be. With my words, with how I speak, and just kind of go in there. Being
you're gonna sway some ladies, huh?
For those who don't know, jFabs is completely Latino.
Latino,
bro. I'm just telling you, if you go up to a girl and be like, "Que lo que, mami?"
He's so good
right
now.
They're probably either like, "Yo, let's go." What he's talking about? Speak to me, sweet nothings in Spanish. I'm just saying, those kind of things you want to say to a girl.
Man.
Que lo que, mami?
Well, thanks for that, Jean-Claude, for
for the visual representation you gave listeners today of me. But no, like I said, like I want to go in a little smooth. I don't want to think too much about it. I'd want to go in. I don't want to have any hiccups and maybe some overthinking some things that I would not normally be thinking. I just kind of want to go in there and be the best me that I could be, and not be too overly prepared, but also not be too under. So I just go in right and smooth.
Yeah, man, it's definitely tricky being open-minded, because a lot of people are just going to be nervous. And another part for the prepping is we're going to end it with is very important. Having your questions ready, which is going to lead us right into the next topic. What are you going to bring to the table? You're definitely going to be meeting a person for the first time. I'm sorry, guys. What jFabs just did, he just fought the big dick on the table.
I'm sorry, I put the hammers.
He just dropped Thor's hammer.
To the table, like, hey, what are you bringing to the table? This dick.
Anyways, you're gonna be seeing this person for the first time, and you're gonna have to watch what you say. All right. First, we're not gonna want to get too personal. We're not gonna want to ask about their age, because I think age is a pretty personal touch. Besides their sexual history and their family history, none of that should be said at this table. I think what we should be doing, keeping it short, simple. Start it with an icebreaker. An icebreaker. Do you snore?
No.
There you go. It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah.
And it's gonna hit them out of nowhere. What? Do I snore?
100%. Honestly, I think it's one of those questions I was even saying earlier. Or you don't want to be so black and white. I think you want to throw some color in there, and I think that's the exact color with a good line. You want to break the ice, and I think that's exactly what you just referred to, Dan. So I think that's a great opener, to be honest with you.
And then before we start with what would be your first line, we're gonna pinch this topic real quick. Do you feel that the guy or the girl should say the first word? I think it should be the guy, 100%.
You know what? I don't know. The family at least the way I was raised, the guy has to at least initiate almost everything. I don't mean to say that in a bad way. I just mean, like, he should be the one that goes about paying for everything. He is the provider and all that, but it doesn't mean women can't be the provider. It doesn't mean that women shouldn't just slam their card on the bill or whatever. But I think that it is the guy that should say the first word, or at least the icebreaker. But who knows? You know what? It really depends on the situation. Maybe the girl is, I don't know. Maybe she doesn't care, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to break the ice first. I'm going to throw him off his game, because he's probably expecting to throw the first line out. But I think it usually should be the guy, or usually it is the guy. That's what I'm going towards. Usually it is the guy. I think the girl is kind of being strategic and just waiting, like, okay, what is he going to say? Okay, what I say first is going to be based off what he says. Let's see what happens. Definitely,
100%. I feel the same way right now in jFabs.
No, 100%. I think, bouncing off that, I think, too, it's not, most of the time they say one's a recessive and one's dominant, and I think, I know most of the time males would preferably be the dominant, and, I think it's gonna, honestly, I feel like when you're doing the speed dating, I feel like there's so many people you're interacting with, you could mix it up almost, on one, try being a recessive, seeing how that plays off, and, you know what, on the next one, why not be dominant? Why not see and play off what works? I mean, obviously you're dealing with a different individual every 3 to 5 minutes, but I think you're getting to know a little bit more about yourself, and I think once you get to know more about yourself, I think you'll be the best version of yourself, and hopefully towards the end of the speed dating, you'll be a whole lot further along. You'll be like, you know what, this is the best guy that I put forward, and I should be happy at what you give.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a really good point. The guy should definitely do the first initial question, icebreaker, hopefully. Shouldn't go too personal. Shouldn't take up too much time talking about one topic.
But, I mean, hey, to any of the women or whoever, any of the women that listen to this podcast for this portion of the episode, by all means, if you ever go out on a speed dating thing or you meet a guy for the first time, by all means, throw him off his game. Because, honestly, you'll throw us off our game real quick if you're the one initiating contact with, I don't know, first lines or trying to get to know us, because we'll be thrown off. So by all means, please do that.
If I could add on to Jean-Claude, I'm not gonna lie. There's times like, how many times do we often hear guys are always the dominant, And I think it would be great sometimes whenever a female steps forward and puts her step forward and says, "Hey, I want to go in this direction," and then the male is just like, "You know what? All right, I'm willing to go. Let's go in that direction. Let's go that way. Let's go in that topic. Let's go in that flow." And I think from there they kind of balance each other out.
Yeah, 100%. But I kind of feel that some guys, if the girl does ask the first questions, will the guy feel less confident during this? Is he going to feel some type of way because of it?
I don't think so. At least not towards me, because I'll tell you one thing. If I was in a position where a girl is asking me questions, by all means, ask away. I'm an open book. Because me, personally, I will have no idea if what I ask is insulting or in some kind of way rude towards that person, that woman. So I'd rather the girl just ask whatever question she can possibly think of. You know what? You want to ask questions for 3 hours? By all means, let's go. You can write a report after this. I don't care.
That's very nice to know. She's going to be writing a report about Jean-Claude.
Oh my God.
A full report on Jean-Claude and everything about him.
And so let's get to the point here. What would be your first question at the table? You're sitting down. She looks at you. What do you say?
Hold on. We're talking about first question or questions?
First question.
Are we getting to the point where we ask?
I want to hear. How about this? I want to hear your first question and then 3 follow-up questions.
Oh, damn! 3 follow-ups.
Let's play up a scenario. Why don't you give us your scenario? Tell me how virtual right now. Tell us how you're gonna play it out.
Yeah.
First question.
Huh. We don't get all night.
I think my first question would be, are you an animal lover? Because I'm an animal lover.
So that's an icebreaker, huh?
Yeah. I'd like to see, does she have compassion for animals? I think that's one of the endearing traits that most people want to find if they have empathy for another living being. If she tells me she's not an animal lover, I guess that's cool, but I mean, I like animals, so I don't know, that'd be my first question.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want me to give you my...
Oh, yeah. Let's
my other 3?
What are some other, besides an icebreaker, what else would you ask?
Let's dive in.
What would I ask? Honestly, we'd call it, you have 3 to 8 minutes to get to know this person, so I know it...
3 to 5. More like 5. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. 3 to 5. 3 to 5 minutes to know someone. That means you have to get, not as personal, but you have to get someone personal. You have to kind of dent the door or dent the ice. Those are terrible metaphors, regardless. So I'd probably ask, do you enjoy being physical? Do you enjoy racing? Do you enjoy lifting? Do you enjoy some type of sport where you're actively doing it and not watching it? Because no lie, you can watch a sport, I'll tell you right now, that's not exciting at all. I don't like watching sports because that's boring as hell. Let me go outside and do something that's physically active. Let me go play soccer. Let me go play basketball. Let me go play football. Let me go play tennis. Let me go play any sport. Yes, I'm about that. If a girl tells me, yeah, I love sports, yeah, and then they tell me, yeah, I watch them all the time, that's a no-go for me. Next question is, do you like food? If you do, please tell me. How adventurous are you? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm a foodie at heart. I love
100%.
food.
Especially when he has a glass of wine.
Yes. I'll tell you right now, a glass of wine, when I mean glass, I mean a full glass of wine, and any type of food, you know what? I'll eat.
Let's just say bottle.
Or, yeah, legit. I could do a bottle by myself easy. And I think the last question, the most important question, at least for me, would be, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I want to know where they see themselves. Do they see themselves going back to school? Do they see themselves having some type of career? Do they see themselves in another state? Do they see themselves with kids, no kids, married, not married? Do they see themselves not anywhere at all in 5 years? No expectations. If their answer is not what I'm looking for, then it is what it is.
I can respect those questions. I think those are well questions.
I mean, that's great.
jFabs, let me hear that, huh?
Let's hear it. Let's hear a little bit of it, right? So,
you're gonna answer Jean-Claude's questions now, huh?
But I can tell you a little bit of what I'll be asking. But I mean, I know for me at least, what I do want to know about someone when I have them sitting across from me is I definitely want to know, are they doing what they're doing? What hobbies are they doing now that they're passionate about, or what are they doing? Or maybe it's work. What kind of work are you doing that you're passionate? Like, just tell me. I like to hear things that what people are passionate about, and I like to hear them going and pursuing those passions, whether it's exercising, whether it's music, whether it's acting, singing, you name it, cooking, variety of different things. I like to know that an individual is doing everything that they possibly can do towards the things that make them happy. You know, I think we get often caught up in this bubble where we're not following our heart, but we're following the money. And I think all respects to those who make their money, but at the same time, I think we live such a short life. We should be going towards the things that make us happy entirely. So honestly, I'd love to ask them. I'd love to ask someone. What passions do they have in their life that make them happy? But also, what passions are they not doing? Maybe within that same 5-year time span that Jean-Claude was talking about. I'd love to know what new passions would they want to pursue. Because honestly, for me, it's also I think for any relationship, for any partnership to really be happy, I think each partner needs to be somewhat selfish, passionately in what they want out of themselves. Because I think that creates a bond where both of them are doing things passionately within their own individual lives that create something special, when they're together.
All right. I have a follow-up question. You did not say what the icebreaker question was, though.
Excuse me.
I want to know what that first question's going to be.
If it's got to be an icebreaker, and I got to ask my first question.
I have to know what it is.
Do you like EDM?
Do you like EDM?
I don't think EDM would be an icebreaker. I guess if it's got to be a funny, somewhat funny one, right? Like, it's got to be a...
It can be anything. An icebreaker is usually funny, but it's also a question that's off guard.
Or it can be a line.
Honestly,
a pickup line, yes.
Oh, I divert you back to "Get okay, mommy."
I'm sure you would recommend me to that one. But I feel like I'd go for a corny one. Honestly, I don't even know if I could properly even say it. Like, what is it? When you crack and you say you fell from heaven or some nonsense. Or something?
You fall from heaven?
Oh. What? When you fell from heaven?
Oh my God! So that's the line that you're gonna pull. That's the line you're gonna pull.
Listen. I mean, no. Some girls like cheesy. They like cheesy.
Well, you won that, bro.
Oh my God! I mean, if you meet the right girl who likes that amount of cheese, you're set.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, as I can respect the other answers that you gave today, with regarding that, let me break down mine real quick. All right.
Oh, this is gonna be super interesting. Let's go.
So I'm gonna start with an icebreaker. Gotta have that icebreaker. Gotta make it feel funny, relax, chillax. I want to be like,
how many pops you have?
all right. Shots fired.
I don't think that's a fire. I think that's a compliment.
Right,
if anyone doesn't know, Dan is he's got his other podcast going, and he's on that gamers stuff. So I believe in his pops, and I think that's a compliment to what he's looking for.
Okay. Thank you. So my icebreaker would be, if your friends compared you to an animal, which would it be? Question mark.
Whoa. Okay, that's different. So the second you sat down and you gave yourself 3 seconds to look at her, you'd ask that question.
Well, first I'm going to shake her hand and tell her my name. And then I'm going to break the ice. And then, of course, there's other questions in there. I'm going to want to know about your interests, your hobbies.
Can I cut in real quick?
Yeah, sure, of course.
There's a question after all your answers. The question is, okay, you said that to the one girl, but then you have to move on to the next girl.
I was going to get into that after this.
Okay, so we're going to hold it off for a second. But no, continue.
All right. So we're gonna want to know about her hobbies or her interests in here. So we're going to find out what she wants to do for fun. What do you like to do for fun? What kind of movies you like? Something along those lines. Interests, hobbies. Do you collect pops? You know, like,
do you collect pops? If so, what do you have?
Bro,
we'll compare.
Do you have a gold Stanley that's worth $100? I don't know.
Are you about the Marvel universe or the DC universe?
I got the whole collection. And then I'm gonna want to know more about her and her future, like, or what's her dream job? You know, what would you like to be doing as a dream job? Where are you in currently right now? What are you doing currently? You know, other things. You know, it can't all be serious. It has to be a little bit of fun in there. So throw something else in there. Let me. I don't have one yet, but we're gonna just throw a lot more questions in there about. It can't all be serious, right? It just can't all be serious.
No, I don't think so at all. You need to have some kind of humor. You can't just show one side of yourself, which is seriousness. I'll tell you right now, I can't show seriousness for shit. I consider myself too much of a funny person to be that serious, or I laugh way too much. That's what I'm looking for. I laugh way too much, and I don't take things that seriously. So, yeah, you can't act that serious. You know, the first 2-3 questions act serious. Last couple of questions be a little funny. Like, hey, so if you were to have a cow, what would you name it? I know, it's a weird question.
John Claude.
You got a little... I call it, like, Sally. I don't know. I just feel like all cows are Sally. That's just me.
But, I mean, I think those are some good questions. What are you passionate about? You know, like, I want to know what she's into, what she likes to do, what she wants to do with her life. Just things. You know, of course, I want to hear her laugh.
Most definitely.
You know, a laugh is the most important thing in a woman for me. So if you have a cute laugh, that's bonus points.
I agree. I'd say first smile, then laugh. And then personality. But that's just me.
jFabs, do you have anything else to add, or?
Well, I mean, you know, I think humor, like you were bringing up, I think it's very key. You know, I mean, I've been in, and I'm sure other guys here can speak on the podcast. You know, I've been in relationships where it's been very, you know, things can get heated at times. You know, and at times, sometimes you don't want things to always be so much heated. You know, sometimes you just want to laugh. Have a good laugh. Let's laugh at one another at our bickering, and let's have a good time. You know, let's not go over get so angry over the spoiled milk.
Yeah, spoiled milk.
The metaphors. They keep on coming.
So we're not gonna have any spoiled milk tonight. All right. So I think that covers what we would ask when we first sit down. But the real question is, the same questions for every girl.
Yes. For those who don't know about speeding, from what we know, when you sit down for the speed date, about 2 to 3 feet away from you is another table with the other person that you got to transition over to after the 3 to 5 minutes of speed dating with that person in front of you. So once the 3 to 5 minutes are over, the event organizer will click a bell. They'll give you some kind of signal, okay, move on to the next one. Every person or every individual who has to move, which is usually the male, they will get up, they'll go left or right depending on which way it's going, and they'll sit down next to the new person they're talking to. Here's the kicker though. What you just said, the other woman probably heard, most likely.
But why would she be trying to listen to my conversation when she has her date just listen to?
Maybe she found her current date at that moment before you a little boorish, so she wanted to hey, you know what? I wonder what the other guy is all about. He's coming next to me in 2 minutes.
I agree with you in some way. I think, if anything, I'm going to have multiple icebreakers on my sleeve.
Multiple icebreakers.
And
so 5, so every 5 you...
You know, I'll have a rotation of 3 or 4, if anything. Because you know what? The girl 2 tables down, I can hear what I say in the next one, right? So basically, I think when you engage in conversations after an icebreaker, some questions are going to come to you naturally that you're going to want to ask.
No, so
things will definitely change up as you progress into the 5 minutes.
I agree.
jFabs, do you have anything to add to this? What would you bring to the table there?
That last point I think you just brought up about, I think once you're really engaged in that conversation, I think you're right. I think the questions do change up. So honestly, I think most of the time what's going to be changing is your openers, kind of like what you're saying. And then even I know Jean-Claude over here is talking about those openers, but even if you skip one over, you know, like you skip one because you know the next one is sitting next to you, and you gotta leap over the next, and then every second in the every even number you could almost go into it.
That's not even there's another issue. I'm not just talking for men. I'm talking for anyone who decides to change their answer in general. Guess what? The same questions might come up 2 to 3 dates in a row. What's your favorite dream job? If you say something like architect, you better keep that answer throughout the whole entire conversation.
It could be friends out there, you know?
Because you know what? Because let's say there's A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? You're at A. You say architect. Guess what? B most likely heard that. When you get to B, you have to also match the same answer. By saying architect, guess what? C just heard that. You go over to C. What do you have to do? You have to say architect. D definitely heard that, most likely. Guess what? You have to say architect. And now you go to E. Guess what? There's a good probability E probably heard you say architect. So what do you say? Architect.
Architect Mosby.
Shut up. Point is, you have to be not even a little, you have to be truthful when you go to these speed dating events. You have to give truthful, honest answers to these questions. Because if not, you're gonna get played. You're gonna play yourself. You're gonna play yourself, and you're gonna look like a fool in front of 1, 2, or 3 multiple people.
I say same lines, different pickup lines. That's it. That's all you need, right?
Yeah, right. I think that's I think that's what you need. I think you're right. I think you all hit the nail on the head on that one.
I think I'm about to go on a new pickup line. All right, just let me know. All right, I'm gonna ask her what her best joke is. I want her to tell me her best joke.
Ooh, I like that.
How do you think that will persuade
like that
to the girl? Do you think she'll be like, what are you talking about?
I think it shows humor, and it shows a directness towards her, and it shows that you're...
How are you funny?
It shows that, you don't care. Like, let me find out what this girl's all about.
But if she asks me that, I'm going to fail hard. Like,
oh, man. That's a downside, unfortunately. Like, tell me your best joke. If someone asks me that question, I'm like, oh, man.
Well, now I know to come in there with a couple of jokes right now on my arm. But I think that covers it. Anyone else have anything to add about being prepped with questions? Good? Yeah.
I think it's pretty... Honestly, I think it's going to depend on the situation. Just as I said before, you say answers, and the people on the other side, the ones that don't move, the table next to you, they'll probably listen to your answers. But you know what? It's also vice versa. Maybe you'll listen to some of the answers that you hear from the next table on, and maybe you decide to change up a couple of your questions depending on what you heard. So, okay, I found out that she likes old school 90s. Just because I was bored with the date across from me, so I'm going to make a question related toward old school 90s. So then you have a question for that other date, specifically guided towards her. So I really think it depends on the people you're going to go up towards. If some people look like they're not... What's the word I'm looking for? What's the phrase I'm looking for?
I'm going to ask her, if you were born in the 90s, do you like Our Real Monsters? It's a great show.
Good point. You have a good point.
Love the Nick 90s, by the way, Dan. You know me, so...
So I think that covers the questions that you would ask a person in speed dating. So we're going to jump into the last topic, which is expectations. And I see John Claude is ready to bust out some feels right now.
Oh.
So I'm ready to hear him.
Now, guess what? This podcast is about the truth because we're not going to sugarcoat anything, hence the name No Sugar Added. Feels will one day come out, depending on the topic. And
how much wine we have.
Yeah, how much wine we have, depending on the situation of the day. Expectations, honestly, like I said before, at least for me, I'm doing this for a friend. I'm not really there to look for anyone in speed dating because I'm good. But I'm doing this at least for a friend. I don't know about you guys. So I'm going to go there with the expectations of not looking like the most desirable person to make sure that he looks like the golden goose. Like, women are going to want to know more about him than me. So if I surprisingly get some woman wanting to know my information, that would be very surprising. But that's my expectation. Go in there, not be the best me, make my friend look the best that he can possibly be and hope for the best for him.
So you're saying you're going to go in nice and bald and ready to go?
No bald. I like my hair. Sorry.
But I don't understand. I guess it would really depend on how far back that friend that you're trying to impress or get impressed.
You see, that's a complication. Like I said, we've never been on a speed date. We don't know how it works. We don't know if they put us in some kind of order. We don't know if we just get to sit down. But if it's a situation where we get to sit down wherever we want, I think that we should just look at the situation. Okay, we'll do it in this order to make sure that the next guy, after all of us, will be our friend, and he'll look like the golden goose.
Well, I ain't gonna go. Like, I'm gonna make myself look good. Like, I'm not gonna go in there and bomb myself down.
Okay, then you're gonna sit somewhere else. Then you're.
I'm single, bro.
Good point. Yeah, but that's my expectation.
jFabs.
I guess. I want to go in there as the most authentic jFabs.
EDM master listener ever.
As I can go in there, and I want to go with the most authentic as I can be. Because I also think there's other people there that are taking it they're taking it within that same manner they're taking it. And I think that they're gonna bring their best selves there. And at the same time, I know I'm going to bring my best self there. I'm going to be authentic with, obviously I've prepped myself like we've all prepped here. So I would assume as well others are prepping as well. I'm just going to go there my most authentic self. But I also want to give a different version of myself authentically to each individual person. But also trying, in a sense, what I mean is, I want to try and be more humorous, maybe towards one, and then maybe the next. Just try and I want to play a little bit. I don't think we too often get a chance to How often do we get a chance within a 60-minute setting, or however long a speed dating might be?
It's about 60 minutes.
Yeah. So then, how often do we get the chance to sit down with that many different types of individuals and be the most authentic self that we can? So why not provide our best selves, but uniquely in each presentation, and then I think you'll understand a little bit more about yourself, and I think you're also you'll learn a little bit about yourself in that same sense. So those are my expectations. I'm gonna go into it, being me, and also hopefully learning as much as I learned about other people. I learned just as much about myself in the speed dating. So I'm going to throw it over to...
yeah, I'll definitely take it from here. So I definitely agree with that. So let's jump into my expectations. So pretty much I would say I'm going in there open-minded, as I said before. Of course, I'm going to be nervous as fuck because I've never done this shit before. And I'm going to be nervous as hell. They say not to get drunk, so I'm going to have one drink. I'm going to do my best.
Oh, shit. Don't get drunk?
I'm going to do my best because once the feels come out, and I'm going to keep them underneath. And so I'm going to have one drink just to, release that tension a little bit, but I'm going to go in there open-minded. I'm going to have my questions ready, as we talked about today. My beautiful icebreakers that I gave you guys today. Yes, you may use them. But I am definitely expecting out of this is a great experience.
Lend me one, Dan. I just need you to lend me one of those icebreakers.
Look, man, I got a couple up the sleeve, so I'm definitely going to go in there, wanting to leave there like, oh shit, I've done this before. It was a great experience. It's a story to say, a story to tell people. And, a lot of people are looking to do this, so they can always come to me, hey, how was that speed dating? Well, it was blah, 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 this. Or listen to my damn podcast.
Woo.
But I think that's how I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to end myself on that. If John Claude or jFabs want to add anything to this?
No, I don't have anything to add.
I think that pretty much sums it up for me as well.
All right, and this is going to be the end of our first podcast.
Yeah.
Here of
No Sugar
Added.
No sugar added.
Oh yeah. So
are we old radio hosts? Oh yeah.
So I'm really excited to let you guys know our experience, which is going to be our third or fourth podcast. We'll definitely let you know in the next podcast.
So to clarify, in a month to month and a half's time, we're going to plan our speed dating event with our friends, mainly the one friend who needs the help the most. And we're going to go through the whole speed dating process. And when we come back in the 3rd or 4th episode, we're going to explain in detail how it went, what it took, the registration, the day we got there, how
we prepped our questions.
How we prepped our own questions, and how it had turned out in general.
So that's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to actually experience
funny
this.
Episode. If you guys like laughs, get ready for me to just make a fool of myself.
The stories are going to come out,
Oh, yeah.
So that is it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to be in a discussion of online dating.
Does that include online apps?
Yeah, well, I don't see why not.
Okay, just double checking on that.
We're definitely going to see online dating and how it works for people and what we need to know. All the good shit. And I think that's about it for this episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. My name is Dan, Guru Dan. And I was joined by here
Jean-Claude,
jFabs.
And have a beautiful night, or day, or evening.